What is going on, everybody? It's Rock D. Lee coming at you guys with an exciting opinion on The Boys once again. It's one of my favorite shows that we're covering right now, especially in the live action category. So, what are we going to talk about? Who are we going to talk about? Folks, it's no other person than, drumroll, Stormfront! So, what happened in our video? I'm gonna break it down to you, the comment. I'm gonna break it down to you what my thoughts are and some nuances, okay? Let me know if you guys agree. I really enjoy when you guys drop some interesting comments rather than to shove down my throat why I'm wrong. But what I really like is not just say, you're wrong, Homelander's a bad person, you're fucked up. See, that's like, what do we get out of that? I like when it's something profound. Point at the hypocrisy. Point at human nature so that we can discuss and bring ourselves to a higher level. So without any further ado, we're gonna jump into today's comment. Boom! So this is coming from Kerr Norak, okay? First of all, if you guys haven't subscribed to this channel, I ask you guys do so. I'm active on socials. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. We'll kick it back and hey, maybe you'll get featured on this channel as well. Let's go to the scene and then we'll go to the comment. Here is the scene. Oh, this poor man. It's terrible. With the save. Oh. Bum. Baby girl's getting bodied. Ooh.
Can't do your magic little hand thingy anymore? How come?
Oh, she's really... I can hear it now. It's louder now.
Open your eyes.
Oh.
To see the light go up. Fucking yellow bastard.
Ah! There! So, now let's go into the comment and then I'm gonna go back into some other scenes, okay? I always find it hilarious when people are fine with the wrist breaking, the choking, the killing, etc. But then he calling a guy a yellow bastard. Oh, that's just too far and shocking. LOL. What? Lee's response. The yellow bastard line changed the scene from beating him up because he's a terrorist. We all agree on beating up terrorists, right? Yay! Go ahead and raise your Patriot flags. Actually, Patriots can technically, I get in there. Anyways, it went from beating him up because he's a terrorist to beating him up because he's Asian. And she just got done with some homies and some families, okay? As we saw in some earlier scenes, she was just taking out all black families, okay? And then Kerr goes, yeah, but the point was she was still killing him regardless of the reasons. It is the killing of the guy that is the real evil here. Doesn't really matter why. Lee tries to reiterate. Lee goes, I reiterate, I do not perceive killing a terrorist. Let me go back to my word. Killing a murdering terrorist. Let me pause real quick. This guy does have a background story, and I do understand how people can sympathize with him. So that is a separate issue on whether he's a good terrorist or a bad terrorist. Yeah, I know. There's like, to me, there's no such thing of a good terrorist. But I've read people say, how come you don't have compassion on this guy? You didn't see what happened to his family? I'm not getting into there unless you guys demand another video for that. So we're not going to go into there. Anyway, so I reiterate, I do not perceive killing a murdering terrorist evil, but killing someone because of their race, petty and evil. I now have to question if she'd kill him if he was white. The line made it clear that she killed the black families. That line made it clear that she killed the black families solely for the race. Let me also pause, because on a second watch, I was like, whoa, it was already obvious that she was killing these people just because of their race. It was already obvious. We're gonna go ahead and play those scenes. I should have known that this woman was evil, right? When it came down to, not evil, I meant to say racist. Okay. Right here. Right? Oh, not here. It's not here yet. It's this family. Boom! She took out the family. Like, why? Why? On my first watch, I didn't realize what was happening. I'm not even exaggerating. I was like, what? What? That's wrong, right? That's wrong. That's wrong, right? Let me fast forward. We already seen this scene, right? And then this poor guy, right? Thrown out the window. Why was he thrown out the window? Why is all this happening? Why are we blowing up stuff? She's not blowing up stuff just to take out this man. She's indiscriminately taking out families, right? So, while that should have sat with me the first time, it's not until the adrenaline goes down, you're watching this horror, she says the words like, oh shit, that's why she was doing everything she was doing. It wasn't just because she was just going through the projects. It wasn't because she was just going through this particular area and whoever was there, she was just being evil, which is also a problem, right? Or just being sloppy with her work. Nah. That yellow line was like, oh nah, it's anyone who's not what she looks like, she's gonna take him out. When I take it home, showing what she did to those families, and then she calls this man a yellow bastard, yeah, it had nothing, the joy she took in killing him, it's not because he's a terrorist. It's because of what he looks like. That's how I'm convinced. Because she took out innocent people in the same goddamn scene just because of their race, as far as I'm concerned. Once the yellow line was added, you're like, oh, that's what happened. A lot of shock, a lot of confusion suddenly comes here. But to me, a lot of things was happening, and I was like, whoa. But, you know, they paused and the cracking, and then she says the yellow line, and it's like, oh, what the fuck, okay? That was when everything had its time to just catch up to me, and like, wow, this is the reality of what's going on. Anyways, I say to the person, well, I'm just explaining the why, not necessarily trying to convince you to agree. And then the discussion starts to break down, okay? Because the next line is going to be, fair enough, I get the why, I just think it's wrong is all. As I said, it seems backwards to me to be more upset or shocked about racism than actual physical harm _ murder. And I go, right, physical harm, murder to another murderer / terrorist. So this is another one of those videos where like, is Lee tripping? Is it me today? I really don't think so. So let me go back into my feelings on that video one more time, okay? Obviously, she took matter into her own hands, right? But you know, once we know that, you know, someone is a murdering psychopathic terrorist, right? And they get what's coming to them, who cares? So I guess it's like, yeah, but the killing is evil, the killing is wrong, she murdered that person. Murder is an unjustified killing. So first of all, one of the things is look at the definition of murder. Murder is an unjustified killing, right? So what's happening is, whether it was legal or not, because from a legal point, she definitely committed murder. I know, so this is gonna be a very muddy argument, but just hear me out. Don't worry about semantics, try to understand the mentality, and let me know if we're on the same page or where we're differing, okay? The killing was justified, right? Because he's a murdering terrorist, right? Who's taking out innocent families and plans to do more of it, right? So if he's killed on that premise, it's like, oh yeah, that was justified, right? The law may disagree, okay? Because the law is, well, were you defending yourself? There's those nuances, but the criteria for murder is unjustified killing, and then you go through this process. Like if you kill in self-defense, that's not murder, that's just killing, right? So I'm not actually trying to say that she didn't murder this man, because she did when you look at the legal definition. But was it justified or not justified? That can impact how you feel about it. And this is a feeling argument, not a legality argument, okay? So let's take it home. If somebody did a heinous act to your sister, to your mother, and you watched your revenge to that R word, I'm not gonna say it, the person who violated your loved ones, and you watch them get dragged through the street on a car at 70 miles per hour, right? And as they're getting dragged across the road, no, 70 is too fast, they'll go too quick. Let's lower it down to like 10. So it burns, but they're not out, okay? They're getting dragged 10 miles an hour, right? And then all the friends and relatives of the victim, right, get to throw rocks or throw acid or something like that to the perpetrator of the evil, to your loved ones. We are not going to feel bad for that individual because it's justified. It's a stretch. it's a stretch. But if you have those kind of feelings, you're gonna understand what I'm saying, okay? Now, problem when you add the racial slur to it, it's like, whoa, are we doing this because of what this person did to the family, to our country, to our people? Or is this personal because you don't like that entire race, right? Now you're looking at it, you're like, whoa, there was a whole bunch of brothers in that building earlier. And then the shock hits because to me, it didn't register. It really didn't. I'm like, yo, I think, but no, right? She's just reckless. Maybe she's just reckless. But now it hits you. It's like, oh, nah. I got friends and loved ones that slur applies to, and I don't like that. I don't feel comfortable about it, right? So it's like, yeah, you watch all this killing and stuff like that, but it's like, whoa, you can justifiably kill someone who deserved it based on their actions. But when you add the condescending slurs to an entire group of people, that just changes. Like, whoa, that's not what we signed up for. I was with the revenge shit, but that's not what we signed up for. Okay, I think that's what it is. I think that's where the emotions come into play. And then here's the flip side to this. This is just a whole new thought. So as an American, it's just very common to watch did you guys not watch Face Off? Raise your hand if you've seen Face Off. But yeah, all my life I've been watching people get blown up and killed in the most heinous ways on TV. So it actually won't bother me much. It'll only start bothering me when I see that this is an innocent person. I'm like, oh, then I have to empathize with them. But yeah, I've seen Punisher. I've seen both Punisher movies. This is what we do. You know, this is red, white, and blue, right? So I also think that's a little caveat to it as an American, and let me know if you guys agree, and especially the international listeners. Me and my wife, we were watching a Bollywood film the other day. No, it's actually a TV show. Girl, I'm not gonna spoil it, but undercover cop was seducing a bad guy, and she really started falling, and that was like some freak shit. But there's some things about the production that doesn't feel Western, right? I had a conversation with my wife, and I'm not gonna put anything out there because you'll hear the conversation, but I was like, yeah, there's certain scenes that we perceive as humor, right? Like, this is supposed to be a funny scene, and I'm like, that's not supposed to be funny. That's actually serious art or drama over there, right? Because I seen our reaction channel, I ain't gonna say her name, and I'm not saying any shade, and wanted to know, right? So they did, she was doing a Bollywood, I think it was RRR, so whatever, she was covering some, and they would chuckle from time to time. There was some comments that would come through and be like, oh, you guys, you're Fast and Furious, you think that's anything to laugh about? People really got sensitive about it. So I was like, no, that's something that, if we did reactions to it, gotta take it serious. That's serious over there. That's the way they perceive, that's the way they, I don't know, handle drama. I can't say it the best way. I'm trying to not get myself in trouble, but explain something, but not rub people the wrong way. So anyways, the reason why I said all that is our level of violence, our level of destruction, our level of atrocity, we've been exposed to it for such a young age that, we're not rubbed off the wrong way. But racism across all specters, well, times are changing. It's 2022. I think our country's kind of moving backwards. But in my day, yeah, racism, murders happening, explosions happening, but racism, all the R words, let's put it that way, all the R words, ooh, they're not acceptable. We never been, what do you call that word? Let me think. Editor, help me. Numb. Desensitized. Our country, in my opinion, I'm not trying to say a political thing, our country have potentially got us desensitized to violence because it happens all the time on TV. It's glorified, okay? This is not even gonna be funny. This is not even gonna be funny what I'm gonna say. But since I was in elementary school, schools have been getting shot up, and I haven't seen the country take action that I consider to be meaningful enough. I'm not saying they didn't do anything. We're not gonna debate it, but there's a school shooting like every year there's a school shooting. I think it stopped because of COVID for quite some time, and then boom, it's back, okay? Politicians, everyone gathers together, they say their thoughts and prayers, and then it goes right back to normal, right? Violence is very desensitized, in my opinion, here compared to many other places. This is part of life. But we shut down things like racism and the R word, of course, the R word. So I kind of pivoted, but I think the reason why I brought it up though is because that's my point. Watching an evil person's arms get broken is not a big deal, right? But when she used that derogatory term, you stop perceiving him as a terrorist and started perceiving him as a person of a particular race that's being punished, possibly because of their race, okay? He literally was guilty, but it's just something that it's triggered inside inside of you. That's my thoughts, guys. Like I said, when I cover these videos, I don't script it. I don't write it out. So this is just what I think. But I do have time at least to process what I'm feeling and what I'm going to talk about. So let me know, folks, if you guys agree. Anything else that you would like to add? Excited to hear some good opinions from you guys. So if you haven't followed, go ahead and do some active on socials. I'm very active on Twitter. I hope to connect with you guys more and more. Until next time, Rock D. Lee, I am out. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for subscribing to this channel. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, please go ahead and do so. The link is in the description of this video, and I actually tweet back. Much love, Rock D. Lee.